Because I'd been on flat on my back for so long, I had no neck muscles, so I had to have a brace on and a high wheelchair with a neck cushion at the back. When they hoisted me into the chair, I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I just burst out crying. Myself and my sister was attending a friend's wedding. In the evening, driving back, I was a passenger in the car and we had a car accident which resulted in me being paralysed from the shoulders down. Obviously I don't remember anything about the accident, but initially after the accident I was fighting for my life. My heart had stopped on a couple of occasions and I was put into an induced coma. My body was fighting with a severity of injuries as well as a spinal cord injury, and I was touch and go for quite some time. I know at the scene of the accident I had to be resuscitated by the emergency services, and also when I got to A&E I had to be resuscitated again.
Do you remember being rushed to A&E in the ambulance?
No. It's so bizarre though, because what I do remember is, like, I'm not sure whether it's me being conscious, unconscious, or where my mind has, I don't know, it's where my heart stopped, my brain has gone off in a different way, because what I remember is not actually what happened. So at that point, I thought after the accident, we drove home and went back to my parents' house and my mum and dad was there. But obviously this didn't happen, so that was in my mind. And then it flashed to a different part where I was at an aeroplane and I was being put into the cargo with the luggage, and I just remember it being so bright and really, really cold. And then my brother and my fiancé Andy was on the plane and we was all going back to Australia and everyone was really happy. But then it changed and I was then in this complete darkness, in this huge open space, and I was sitting on a chair, like stuck to a wall, and it was just empty and silent. And then I hear the door go behind me, and it was my brother and Andy, and they're so angry, and I can hear them talking, and they're saying, oh, I can't believe she didn't come through. That's it, we're done. We wipe our hands with her. You know, my brother said to Andy, you need to forget about her now. You need to wipe your hands, that's it, we're done with her. We're just going to leave her, just leave her. But I remember just sitting in the chair, and then I heard these voices, and I looked down, and I could see a light from a door, like a back entrance to a club, and I have no idea why this person was there. I just can't work it out, but it was Snoop Dogg, and he had his entourage of people with him, and they was looking to kill me. But I remember the fear, and I was so scared. I tried not to make a sound. I didn't want to breathe, and I was thinking, oh, please don't look up, please don't look up. And then my chair slowly started peeling away from the wall, like it was stuck with Velcro, and it was peeling more and more, and I was thinking, oh my God, please move. I don't want my chair to fall and then be there and find me. As it came away from the wall, then I woke up. Because a lot of people have asked me, did you see the light at the end of the tunnel? I was like, no, I didn't. There was no tunnel. And people say, oh, did you see any loved ones? And I was like, no, just Snoop Dogg, really. I don't know how long after the dreams or however I would explain it. But when I actually woke up, I was distraught because I thought that my family and Andy had left me. It was so weird and bizarre. I thought that I was in a psychiatric ward. Obviously I was still on traction, so I was lying flat on my back. And I could see, when I opened my eyes, I could see the tubes coming from my throat. And I wasn't quite sure what was going on. And I was feeling really sad and just low at that point, because I thought that my family and Andy had left me and I was on my own, and I didn't quite understand what was going on. And then my mum and dad walked round the corner. Oh, and I can't tell you how happy and the relief that I felt when I saw them, because obviously I thought that they'd left me. And when my mum came walking up to the bed, I just burst out crying. I couldn't explain to her about my dreams because I couldn't speak. And it was really difficult because for me this was the first time I had no voice, and she couldn't understand what I was trying to say. So it was a very, very tough moment.
Could you just explain how you were told once you were stable that you might never be able to walk again?
To be honest, it probably took a lot longer for me because I didn't believe it. Like when I had been admitted to Sheffield Spinal Unit, they said to me, you're going to be here for a long time. Like, you're probably going to be here for about 6 to 7 months. And I was thinking, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. I've got a hen due to go to next week. I'll be out. They can tell me that I break my neck and that I am paralysed, but they don't want to give me the wrong prognosis by saying you will never walk again, because they don't know that. No one can actually tell you, because so many every spinal injury is different, and you don't know the extent of your damage until the swelling and stuff had gone down. So when it actually sunk in, telling me I was paralysed, yeah, I think I had some pretty damn dark days at the start of it. Definitely. Whilst I was in Sheffield, in the spinal unit, I didn't see any of my friends. I refused to. I didn't want anyone to see me like that. 3 of the months I spent lying flat on my back with traction on my head, bolts attached to it, and weights, so that held my neck down, so that my vertebrae didn't fuse together. And then I had to go through a stage where I had to gradually sit up in bed. So I sat up for like 10 degrees, then 20 degrees, then 30 degrees. And I knew that I was obviously going to have to be in a wheelchair, but the realisation of it, well, that hit me like a ton of bricks. And they tried to, I don't know how they tried to make me feel better by bringing me a nice new wheelchair, but it was awful. It was a wheelchair with a really high back. Because I'd been on flat on my back for so long, I had no neck muscles, so I had to have a brace on and a high wheelchair with a neck cushion at the back. So when they hoisted me into the chair, I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I just burst out crying, because I think that was the realisation, this is what I'm going to be like now. This is what I'm going to have to use. So leaving there and going back into the real world where my old life was, that was tough, to face the world, my same life, but a different me. I found it devastating. I did struggle to start with. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want people to see me in my wheelchair. I didn't want to see my friends. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to stay in my bubble. When people see you in a wheelchair, they think, I can't walk. Well, I can't walk, but it's when you've got high-level spinal cord injury, there's so much more to my injury. It's not that I just can't walk. It's from the level of my injury, you lose sensation, you lose the feeling of temperature. I can't feel temperature below my injury, so when I have a shower, I can only feel the heat to my shoulders. When I have a bath, I can't feel the temperature until I get in and feel it on my shoulders. I can't. Most people with high-level spinal cord injury don't feel sensation, so you can't feel touch or anything, but if you do, it's like muffled. You lose sensation, you lose the control of your bladder, you lose control of your bowels, and the most hardest thing for me was you lose independence. You have to rely on people 24 hours a day, so you can't be spontaneous or anything like that anymore. You know, you have to rely on other people all the time, and that is pretty hard. I was always a party girl, you know, love life, was always like the social butterfly, the socialite. So for me, next time I'm having to see my friends, being in a wheelchair, I just didn't want it.
So what gave you hope for the future?
One day, Andy was sitting beside me and he said, I've got an idea, I think we're going to set up a charity. We wanted to do it to help me to explore different rehab and different stuff out there would help my journey and see what was available at the time. So at that time when we set about setting it up, I don't know if I realised how big it would actually become or whether it would, you know, become anything at the time. So it's quite crazy now looking back and to where the charity is today. We have a scholarship program where it allows us to sponsor people to access specialist physiotherapy. And the people that come to us for our help, they don't want pity and they don't want you to feel sorry for them. They just want to make progress. And that's what our scholarship program does. It helps you make progress. It's so slow in the spinal world, like a small thing to others is a huge thing to me. I just don't want to settle. I just want to keep pushing myself. I want to keep bettering myself. I want to keep making smaller gains. But it's the little things in the meantime. You know, I'm just going to keep on working harder and just making progress. So now I can manage to sit in a chair like this, and not only that, I can propel myself, I can push myself around, I can feed myself, I can brush my teeth, I can do my own makeup. There's so much stuff that I have done now because of physiotherapy and because of rehab, and I want to give that opportunity to others. I want other people to benefit from it as well, and I know they can.
He obviously looked at my arm and said to me, we can make you about this size penis. I was like, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's you leave that to him. I could have said to him I want a 10-inch one, you know what I mean? But you just, you know what I mean, you're just grateful you're getting that opportunity. You know what I mean?